Hello, everyone, and welcome to this, our discussion of Season 3 of Marvel Rivals coming next week. We didn't do one for Season 2. It was a little bit of a busy time. I was actually away and also getting a new PC at the time. But we're going to be kind of trying to get a little bit more of these done as the seasons continue. They're going to be a bit more fast-paced now as well, of course, because Season 3 is the first of the 2-month seasons. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about everything Season 3 today. With me, I have Ajax, Nate, and Tater. Welcome in, guys.
Hey, thanks
for
having us.
Nate, you there? Hello.
He said he was muted. He didn't say you were done.
I'm sure Nate will join us in a second. But yeah, like I say, we're going to go through everything. What I'm going to say is straight away, a shout out to Miller Ross, who I'm using here for their Twitter account, where they have basically everything about the patch to come. A great tool. I do really rely on Miller when I'm looking for updates about Rivals. So definitely a good place to get your Rivals news. So first off, but all Peralta's place, yeah. But like, this guy's an actual creator of the game, so it's a little bit different. Yeah. So first off, I think actually there's kind of one I want to discuss that it's kind of pre-season 3 that's coming out today in game. It actually is in game as we speak, and that's the Captain America Captain Clintar skin. Now, what do you guys think of this one? I know it's kind of, we're going to be going into skin talk a lot later, but like, yeah, it's really good, right? Like, I mean, look at that. Like, oh, it's so good. And obviously this one, but we won't talk about him.
MVP is sick.
Yeah, it's
the punching the door down is it's
really cool. Yeah, I really like it.
I do like the idle animation of the shield going round.
Yeah, well, is that the emote though, or is it an idle animation?
It's the emote.
Yeah, but it looks really cool though.
But I suppose it's one of those emotes that keeps
it'll probably persist, I would imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine it not being. But yeah, I mean, obviously Future Foundation Spider-Man is in the game today as well, but I kind of wanted to mention the Captain America one more because it's kind of it's thematic with the season, right? Yeah. So that's kind of more of import to me. So yeah, I think it looks great. I'm really excited about it. I love a Cap skin. As you guys know, I'm sort of like I play Scarlet Witch mainly, but Cap is sort of my second. So
he's a go-to tank.
Yeah, he's my go-to tank, definitely.
Thor skin.
Oh my days!
What? The new Thor skin was really good.
Yeah. Right, and then we have season 3 being announced, right? So I'm going to play this quietly in the background, but we have season 3 announced, and we see here Null, obviously being the main villain, and Hela working with him, which I think is really cool to see a villain persist throughout the game so far, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to see her.
The fact that Hela is one of the only like actual villains we have in the game.
Yeah, like to play.
So incorporating that into the actual story arc as well is really nice.
Yeah. To see. And then the fact that she's going up against Jean here as well, like this, I'm going to be honest, I had to watch the trailer twice before I even realized it was Hela, because this design is so sick and so like Null inspired. At first I was like, who is this? And then obviously went back and saw, she looks a lot like Hela, and it was. But like this, just the cinematic, like they do amazing cinematics for this stuff, right? Like it's so good. And then Jean, I will say I love how Jean looks from like a model perspective. I don't love her outfit, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But I don't love it. But yeah, continuing on here, like the face card is not declined. Like, look at that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like 10 out of 10. Love it.
Also, animation-wise, fucking Hela in the reflection of her eyes.
Yeah. And then your boy, who obviously isn't coming to the game next week, he's coming a month down the line, but that's not long to wait, really. And I kind of like that it's not going to be that long. But Blade, I mean, we've been waiting for Blade since season 0. Basically, we've known about him that long.
He has finally woken up.
Yeah. We've known about the others, don't get me wrong, but yeah, he's been like not just teased, he's been in the game, right? Like he was on the map. So seeing him in the game and seeing how, I mean, this, I will say, I think he has the best starting skin, like the best base skin we've had yet. I think the others have had decent skins, but I think his as a base skin is so good. right? Like, it just looks great, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Blade fan, so like for me, it's he's Blade, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, I'm not like insanely a Blade fan, but I think when you look at like, I don't love Emma's base design. I like Emma. I don't love her base design.
I think one of my favorite base skins is probably Psylocke.
Yeah, because it's the sort of original, right? In the way it is, right? But I think
I'm trying to think what Psylocke is.
It's like the kind of it's like the
I think
blue
it's
and red.
inspired by Peach Momoko.
Yeah, it's like, so what they did with Psylocke, I think probably to avoid the Betsy Braddock whoa, I forget the name of the Quanon debate. They went with Psy, who is like totally separate.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So her design in the base game is the Peach Momoko design, basically,
right,
as Ajax said. But I think what I'm getting at, the characters we've had release sort of post the release of the game, I've not necessarily loved their base skins. They've gotten better skins as we've went, but I've not necessarily loved them. I mean, the only one that kind of passes is Ultron, but Ultron's Ultron. He's a robot.
It's hard to get him wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. So anyway, love how Blade looks here. So let's continue the trailer. And the music kick. This was so good.
I think my favorite bit is what's coming up now, where the animation style just changes into this like 2D animation.
And I love this, actually. I love that they're like really playing with what these characters look like. And yeah, but also, do you know what it really reminds me of? I don't know if you guys saw it when Marvel Snap was released. I don't know if you saw the video for they released a song with that called Hero. And it was very similar in style to this, actually. Like you said, Ajax, you obviously know it. But it looked very similar to this, and I loved it. So I love this style. I love how much attention to detail they're putting into something that is not just the trailer, but it's a trailer. You know what I mean? Like not to downgrade it, but it's a trailer.
Yeah.
Like this almost makes me want a Marvel Rivals anime. Like, yeah,
no joking.
The fact that like some of the cuts between some of the animation style changes were it's very Spider-Verse style as well.
Yes, you are like this does look very that. And what I find interesting as well is you've got kind of gameplay parts here as well. Like it's not even just like this stuff at the beginning is like animated, but this stuff here, you can tell some of this is the same animations as from her like what her actual abilities are. Her actual, exactly.
Well, that's her character model. That's not animated. That is her character.
No,
model,
that's why I'm sort of meaning. Sorry, I mean like you can tell that it goes from animation to like gameplay animation, quote unquote, to like 3D rendered, if that makes sense. Like, like really cool. Oh, like look at this! Like, oh. Right, we'll get into it with gameplay later, but like from a stylistic standpoint, what do you guys think of having the Phoenix as a whole kind of other person on the side of Jean?
I don't really like it.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it makes her more distinct.
Yeah. It's a fresh idea.
Yeah.
And the amount of different variations that we have in the game, it's not just going, here's a character in a design pop it in.
Yes.
It's expanding on it, putting their own spin on it, which I think is a really fresh take on everything.
Yeah, and what I think is important with that, silhouettes, right? We talk about this a lot with, and I know Jean is a redhead, but we talk about this a lot with Emma and Sue and Cloak and Dagger. And now whilst Emma doesn't really fall in that category in my head, I do sort of understand that if you continue to add loads of characters that have similar body types, if you add skins where they have, like, you could add a skin for Jean in a month's time where she's blonde for whatever reason, right? And then suddenly she looks like the rest, right? Potentially. So having this kind of literal flaming thing next to her, it's like, okay, we know it's Jean. We know it's Jean, right? I think that's a good thing.
It also makes her less likely to hide as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if she was fucking, if without that Phoenix thing, she'd be a small model that is hidden around people. You'd struggle to pick her out of a crowd, and she's just pinging you away, you know.
Yeah.
But with that model, it kind of makes her stand out. So that's like, it's kind of like her own little debuff, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how it works, because like if she's hiding behind a corner and the Phoenix is stuck out in the hallway,
Yeah.
if you headshot the Phoenix, is that going to transfer as a headshot onto Jean?
Or does it count as anything? Is it immaterial apart from like a visual? You know, is it? We'll have to see. So, talking about Blade here, obviously there's Blade's other skin. I don't like this as much as his base, funnily enough. But I don't dislike it.
Venom and the fucking Phoenix Force, that's crazy.
I think that's what I like about this season so far, that they've got two very distinct ideas for where the skins are going. And like you're like kind of almost it's like two sides of a war, so to speak, in a way, right? And don't get me wrong, I know they did that sort of with the Ultron skins to a degree last season, and I know that the whole theme of last season was Hellfire, and so you did have Hellfire skins, but they were still eclectic, right? They were still, and I kind of like the idea that you're going to be able to have like basically a full symbiote team on the battlefield. Like that's a cool concept, right? Like you can have like symbiote Rocket and Jeff, and then like symbiote Groot, Cap, and then you can have Storm and like Skrull, for example, right? You can have a full squad of symbiotes, and that is a really cool concept to me. I love when skins like are a full range that you can have like a full team with.
Yeah.
That's why I like the X-Men suits.
Yes, I do like that. I think my problem with the symbiote skins, if we're going into that now, is that they're all venomized. There's no other symbiote included.
Colors would have been a little bit better if you'd had like a blue symbiote or like a red symbiote, just to kind of vary it up a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think you could potentially see it, and I don't know how the story is going to pan out for this season, but I wouldn't be surprised if something kind of comes out of this where you see another symbiote character come down the line. But you're right in that these skins, I was thinking that they are all Venom.
Like, I get that Venom is the only symbiote we've got in the game now.
Yes.
So if we were to add like Carnage down the line, and then with that add a load of red symbiote skins for people, sure. It just feels very minimized with just that one character.
I agree. I think it would be cooler if, and I think the comics do this a lot with them, is when someone, even if it is Venom, when a symbiote takes over a certain character, it will kind of adapt the color scheme of that character to a degree as well. And I do kind of think that would have been a cool way of doing it. Don't get me wrong, I like them as they are, but it would have been cool. You are right. Definitely. Look at how good this is. I've been saying for ages about how I want the Hela. I said this to you. This wasn't the one I wanted, but I want the Hela skin where she had her hair like out, and this looks so good. Have you realized this is a Raven as well?
Like headpiece, but it's not cover. It's not a headdress. It's not covered. It's just behind her.
And this is like a Raven, which I think is really cool.
Going back to the scene about the symbiote skins. It's a weird one for me because obviously like there are other color symbiotes, but they're not Venom, if that makes sense. And now you go to the comics where everyone in the world has become venomized. A lot of them are the Black Venom, you know. So it's a difficult one.
It is,
But also, would it be as recognizable if Jeff was red? You know, would it? I think or is it like a Spider-Man kind of thing, or is it like, you get what I'm saying? Like, is it as recognizable as Venom?
The main iconic things about the symbiotes is their eyes and the tongue and the teeth.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
So as long as those parts are visible, I think you can get away with it.
Yeah. I think it also depends on what kind of colors how you display those colors. Because if you like went for, and also remember Venom has loads of different colors in the game currently as well. So that's kind of, but like I think if you kind of went for like a muted blue, like a dark muted blue, like for Cap, for example, you'd still get that Venom feel, but it would be. So I think it's one where like you can play devil's advocate both ways on that one for sure. But can we just talk about the fact that, and obviously we will get to this a little bit later on, but Jeff, like them doing an Orca kind of skin
with
Jeff is kind of really cool as a really intelligent way of doing it. But yeah, let's continue this. That's sort of the end of that, or is it? Because then we get this. Do you know what this means? What's this about? What are they trying to imply with this? Yeah, I know, but why are they implying this?
I think it's just
what are they implying here? Do you think?
Yeah. I think it's just a tease because it's his,
I mean, I love seeing his design up close. I think he looks great.
Yeah.
It's most likely going to be something to do with the end of one of the maps. Like when if you push the payload all the way, then Null is going to wake up, and it'll be something like
Dracula was at the end of the New York.
Yeah. So next up on the list, we have that Crystal Lee is voicing Jean. Now, I don't know Crystal Lee, but I did look up her IMDb before this. A number of mobile games, Genshin Impact, is it Zenless Zone? So it makes sense because, you know, NetEase is very much in that sphere typically. So I'm not surprised that they went with someone who's sort of in that sphere. But yeah, don't know it, but I have heard a few Jean voice lines. Just looked at a few little like interactions and stuff, and she did sound pretty good. So that was a win. Of course, there's Hella again there, which we love.
She also played Jubilee in one of the.
Oh well, there you go.
Games.
There you go. So, here we have some skins of the Phoenix Force. There's Wolvie. Now you said you didn't like this one.
Yeah.
Nate.
I think he looks stupid, man. I don't know. He looks too boxy. I know his character model in this game is quite boxy and chunky.
Yeah.
His chest is way too goofy.
Yeah.
He looks like that one Captain America drawing where his chest is just like stuck way out.
Yeah. It reminds me of a League. And I don't know how I don't know why that comes to mind, but it's just that image is just giving League to me. And I don't know why.
It's the art style.
Yeah. It's just I mean, even in game, I think we'll see it a little bit further up, but yeah. And then Magic's, which actually I think looks really cool. Doesn't look like the comic version necessarily.
I think it's similar enough to her base skin that it doesn't look too different.
Crazy,
which helps it work.
Yeah, definitely. So I like that one.
It's very because I read. Well, I remember reading the Avengers vs. X-Men comics where the 5 of them become the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for me, it's not too dissimilar to her actual Phoenix Force from the comics. So I saw it, I was like, I can
deal with that. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. And then there's our boy.
Version of it. Yeah.
There's our boy.
I like the spiked collar they gave him. Really.
They really went into, like, the orca and dog vibes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. The paw of his foot has the like null spiral on it.
Spiral, yeah. Tater, you play a lot of Jeff. What do you think of this one?
I love it. It's one of those pieces where like I've been wanting an orca. That's why I just love my little orca skin. How long I was like, please let that be his legendary skin. Now they give us the summer skin, which is fine. Yeah, it's just.
I mean, but this is the last skin in the past. Yeah, so that's really cool.
That's another one. Oh,
yeah. So you'll see the MVP for it in a minute, and it's really good. But yeah, so that's that. Now the dev vision. I'm going to mute this as we watch it. Well, go through it, so to speak. But I think it's worth. Oh wait, did Miller actually break this down after the fact? Because if they did, it might just be better to go that way. Right, let's leave the dev vision because I think we go through it later. We'll leave Phoenix preview as well because we're going to get into that when with her video.
Chopped into the individual posts.
Yeah. Okay. So battle pass preview. So we have some more skins here. The rocket one. I do actually quite like.
I love the hood.
The collar is really cool.
Yeah.
And also just his eyes. I mean, his eyes are always very emotive anyway, but the venomized version of that, really cool.
Yeah, I love the rocket.
Squirrel Girl can fuck off. I'm sorry.
I love it from this angle. I don't like the tail from the back.
Yeah, the tail. It's giving Marwile from Pokemon and not in a good way.
I just don't know why, like, every other Venom ever, the mouth goes around the character's mouth. Yeah. Like they're around their face. What's her tail got to do with eating anything? Yeah. Like why is all of a sudden her tail a mouth?
Yeah.
It doesn't make
they just wanted to be a little edgy with it. But like I also hated the fact that like I feel like Squirrel Girl, I will talk about this a little bit later again because there's a like disparity of skins for certain characters. But I feel like Squirrel Girls have got a lot. And like for example, right? I know
I don't think I agree.
Do you not think?
I think
she got
she's got Punk from the Battle Pass of Season 1. She's got the Summer one, and now this. And I think that's it.
No, she's got the Kunlun one.
The Dragon one, yeah.
And Dragon one, and she's got the Midwest one.
I always forget about...
They're not good. Yeah, just to clarify. They're not good.
We're not saying that they're good.
Squirrel Girl's in like hell. The only one that I actually sort of like is the Kunlun one. I don't have it, but I do like that one. But I guess I just like... To me, my frustration is if a character's been in the Battle Pass last time, unless they're really intrinsically linked to the next season, I personally don't feel like when you have 41 characters in your game, I don't feel like those skins should be given to the same characters.
However, that same argument, it was in Season 1, but that same argument can be applied to Rocket because he had one in Season 1 as well.
Well, I'm pretty sure I know it was a Punk skin, but I'm pretty sure Squirrel Girls was in Season 2, wasn't it? Let me just check.
I'm sure it was Season 1.
Punk Squirrel Girl skin. I could be wrong. I know the Punk thing was kind of Season 1, but
wasn't that 1.5? Because that's also when Punk Palette came out.
I need to said Spunk. Sorry. Punk Squirrel Girl costume coming in Season 2 Battle Pass. It was in the Season 2 Battle Pass. Yeah. So that's my only frustration. Like Jeff, totally fine. Jeff didn't have one. In fact, I don't think Jeff had one in Season 1 either, if I remember correctly. And Rocket, what did Rocket have in Season 1? What skin was it?
One.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah.
Was that Season 1 or 1.5?
Personally,
it was the same Battle Pass across both points.
Yeah. The Battle Pass didn't change in the points.
Yeah. So what I'd say is, in my opinion, fundamentally, is when you have that many characters in the roster, really the characters shouldn't be... They should be rotating a little better.
If you have, is 11 characters, 11 skins per Battle Pass?
Yeah, typically, I think 10. 10
was, 10 in the last one.
But that's 3 seasons until someone should be in the pass again, basically.
The first page, you have 2 characters.
True.
You've got the free one and the premium one.
Yeah, I don't know for certain. But
it says unlock 10 all new costumes.
Oh, there you go. But
you also do get the... Well, not the Battle Pass, but obviously you get like the Hawkeye one.
Yeah, you do get like 2 skins for free each season as well. Yeah, that is admittedly true. So 12 skins across a season, yeah. But even still, we have 41 characters. Really, a character shouldn't be reused in a pass. Unless, again, this season, for example, I would understand if they said, right, okay, we need to put Spider-Man at the top of the pass. Or we need to put, if they had used him previous. I mean, has Spider-Man had a Battle Pass skin before this one?
He had the Asian one.
Yes, yeah. So, but I understand this season him being in it again because it's symbiote related. I totally get that, right? And in fact, I actually kind of applaud them for putting him in because that skin. Okay,
I would like to argue. You complained that Squirrel Girl has a symbiote. Oh wait, no, Captain America's not in the Battle Pass. Never mind.
No, Captain America's not.
Recap my statement.
And also, I would complain if Captain America had because he was in last season.
Yeah. So we got Black Widow's got one, Magic, Iron Fist.
But for example, right? And I'm not saying that these characters necessarily link to this season, but if you look at the characters that have been added to the game since launch, I genuinely think the only person who's got a skin in the passes so far is Emma, which we need to come on to, by the way. But is that true?
Whoa, hey, all at once or one at a time? What are we talking about
Tater.
here?
None of the Fantastic Four have.
Yeah.
No.
And Ultron hasn't yet, which obviously he's just kind of dropped. But that's
he's just dropped, yeah.
But so what I'm getting at is you've had characters who've been in the game for a while now, and they're not going to get a Battle Pass skin for a while still. And don't get me wrong, the game is affordable enough with the skins and relatively fair in giving out costume coins every so often to get skins. And that roster is only going to increase as well. But I guess I'm a little frustrated that certain characters are getting so many skins. Spider-Man currently has 10 new skins, 10 skins apart from, including his base in the game right now. There are characters who have 5.
It's the same problem that Overwatch had when that
Tracer
was relatively new. Tracer and May ended up with way too many skins.
And like,
well, I think that speaks to the popularity of the characters. Like, you know that the people are going to spend money because a lot of Spider-Man's costumes are paid for, so they are trying to recoup their money in their popular characters. Versus one like Squirrel Girl, where we'll throw it in the past because otherwise people won't buy these skins.
I could agree. I think there's certain levels of like, let's be sensible about this, but like, I don't know. I think it's a little frustrating, you know.
Also,
it's a little.
Squirrel Girl's a 1-star, very easy to play character. So
probably trying to incentivize people.
Incentivizing the people that aren't high skilled are going to play Black Widow. You know. Yeah,
and but also on the other hand, why is like, and this is my main character, why are they giving continual free skins to someone like Wanda, for example, instead of someone else? Like that's another example, right? Groot got a free skin season 1. We're now getting a battle pass of him season 3. Like, Groot's getting a lot of skins, you know. Like, I don't know. I think there'll never be a right debate on this because people are always going to say I want skins for my character, right? So I don't think you're ever going to win. But I just wish it was a little more even and not exact. I don't think you should be like, oh right, we must release a character.
It'll never be exact.
You know? No, it'll never be exact.
Well, no, because some characters just aren't. Some characters just don't lend themselves as much to skins. But you know, for example, considering we have a season where it's Venom based, and I understand she has a Venom quote unquote skin already, but Penny.
She doesn't have a Venom skin.
She has a Venom quote unquote skin, but
that is not a Venom skin.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, imagine having like you could really have done something with that. You could have really ate that up. Maybe she will still get a skin, but it's going to be paid.
The skin that she had in the battle pass was just basically.
It was a recolor, but
no, the Penny
the blue one.
Her blue skin. Whatever. But right, let's go on to Emma, right? Because I know Nate has thoughts on this. Right.
So I hated it to begin with.
Yeah.
I didn't like the hair. Yeah. The hair is stupid.
I still hate the hair.
However, I went back because obviously I like I said, I like the Phoenix 5 and she's one of them. I went back and saw her outfit of the Phoenix 5.
Yeah.
This is much more suitable.
Yes, because it's very
so revealing that I don't think they could have got away with it. It's not far off this.
No, it's
but
quite
they covered her up a lot more.
Yeah. I think it's quite the way they've done it is tasteful. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But the hair, I do agree with. Someone's done an edit of this on Twitter. I don't have it to hand, and sorry, person, I don't have the image either, so I'm not really stealing from
Jesus.
you.
No,
but someone has, and it's like long hair, and it looks so much better. Like, stop being scared of long hair, and it's not even like a graphical thing because you did it with Cloak and Dagger. You did it with Dagger. She has long hair. Like
Scarlet Witch has long hair.
Exactly, Scarlet Witch has hair down her fucking ass. You know what I mean? Like, and Storm has like larger hair. Like
Magic has long hair.
Yeah, like just do it. I don't it's growing on me. It is growing on me.
I don't dislike it. I think I did to begin with when I first saw it because I was like, that's not what she looked like in the comics. Then I remembered what she looked like in the comics and looked it up and went,
that's fair. But yeah. So that's that one.
I think the hair is most likely to do with an enlarged hitbox.
I really thought you said something else there.
As a tank, she's already got a relatively large one. Yeah. Adding a longer hair is going to increase the hitbox even more. And
it could. Yeah,
I guess so.
It could, potentially, yeah. But I think long hair, if you just brought it so it came down here.
Just chop those fucking curly bits off. Keep it short if you want to keep it short. Just chop those fucking curls off. They look stupid.
It feels like they're really trying to do like 1960s, like, and it's just like 1940s to like 60s sort of range curls, and it's like, stop. It's like we don't need it every time, because they did it with her like other skin as well, right? The one where the black one, her black skin.
Yeah.
Right. What do you guys think of these accessories?
What are they?
So, what are those?
So I've stayed away from it as much as possible.
Oh, that's cool. So accessories,
I'm doing as fresh as I can.
Accessories are basically, so Ajax, if you remember in Overwatch, I don't know whether you played 2 actually, but they added accessories onto the handle of your weapon
charms.
Yeah. So they kind of did the same here.
You paused that, then it just looked like Venom was looking Psylocke's ass as he posted it.
They know the memes, is all I'm saying. They know the memes.
So it just hangs on the waist.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, and they obviously change a little bit, but you've got Venom here, you've got Herbie, Rocket, Deadpool, which is really cool to see him included again in like an item. Jeff, a cat of some description, Groot, Baby Groot, and Mary Jane, which is really cool. But yeah,
Mary Jane carried the win.
Yeah, to be fair, they could. She has, but just not the Venom version of her. But yeah, so you've got. I mean, it's cool. I don't think I love them.
That's even cooler. Look on when she kills the bot. Look on the right hand side.
Yeah, it does add a little bit to your like MVP thing. Yeah. There. See, it's got a little.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. It's just more visual clutter.
I mean, but I imagine there'll be a play. Oh.
Yeah, so I mean,
oh my days! It's his ass.
I did not realize that. I thought it was a heart.
I thought it was a tooth.
No, you should have known better.
Oh my gosh, his ass is shaking here too. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
That's the standard. And then when you kill someone, he gives it a little wiggle.
I can't. But also, I think they're cool, but I don't think it's something that like is gonna like. I'm not gonna buy one if there's one in the past or whatever. Yeah.
If it's in the past, it might annoy me more because then it's just taking up a slot.
Well,
that
it
could
depends.
Be something better.
It depends on if they add more like slots to the pass to do it, or if they move those lore items that they put in to something else.
Yeah,
because those are useless. And like they're nice to see in terms of learning what's going on, but like you can just give me that as part of like an event, you know?
They serve no purpose at all.
Yeah. Right. Here we go. More skins. It feels like it's all we're talking about today.
Well, these are the chromas,
these are the recolors. So I mean, I know you like Malice, Ajax. So I don't know if you care for these, but I don't really.
Not a fan of that one.
There's apparently a few others. Yeah, a few others there, which I don't like that one either.
I mean, the whole reason that a lot of people like Malice is
the dark.
Those grey parts are skin. That's skin, and with these bits, it's turning it into tights.
Yeah, because you can see
yeah. But I mean, obviously, I think people will eat the Jeff ones up. I think people might eat the Rocket ones up. I'm torn on the Scarlet Witch ones. I'm really torn on them.
Nothing in me is gonna make me want to buy chromas.
No, not unless it's like insanely good. But like not these ones personally.
Yeah.
So
I think the whole chroma
emotes.
Yeah.
The whole chroma color system, I think, was a ripoff, and I think they should have been included with those.
Especially considering they've just done the Fantastic Four, where they've added you can change the skins to 2 different colors.
Yeah.
Right. Here's another one. Ultimate VFX.
I will pay for.
Well, I won't because what annoys me about this is. And I think it looks really cool, right? But
that's only for you.
It's on your side only.
Yeah.
I have no interest in that.
I get it because it's like
it's intensive. I get it.
Butter.
Yeah. But like a lot of games like Final Fantasy 14, for example, because it's such a flashy game, they have options for turning down specifically skilled like flair and stuff like that. But I just don't see the point in me buying something that I'm only going to see. And yeah, as someone who streams Rivals, someone's going to see that for me like in that way. But I just don't. I will never buy something that like someone isn't going to see in the game because that's the whole point, right?
Also, I'm just worried about like look how much screen space. I know that Scarlet Witch is kind of an exception, but I imagine that's going to affect your ability to notice. Oh, hey, there's a penny creeping up on my left. Well, now you are so focused on your animation, you're just going to get webbed and canceled out.
I'd be interested to see what the other ones look like. I think
because I don't get the skins for other people to see. You know, I think they're I like the look of them, so I want to wear them. So like to have a different alt for myself, it's fine.
I mean, I'm not against it. What I would say is with this patch is they've added a lot of different customization options that will matter to different people, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. I think that is a good thing. I don't think I'm going to sit there and buy these when, and I get what you're saying, Nate. Yeah, it is for yourself, but
I do think to a degree, show in the kill cam because usually your voice lines appear in kill cams. So, you know, if you killed someone like that as Wanda,
yeah, potentially.
then you're flexing.
Potentially.
I think
the only thing I would say is if someone has a lower end PC which can't handle all of that, and then you're forcing them to see it on the kill cam, you could potentially crash their PC.
Well, you can disable that. So I think that will also be an aspect of where you'll disable kill cams for a lot of people.
Just wait.
I'm kind of fine with that. Mine's been disabled since day like 3.
Yeah. Just wait for the one where it's Doctor Strange's portal, but it's like 3 or 4 different portals at once to make it look like Endgame. Right, this is the best change that this patch is making. The best, single-handedly best change. Yeah. Use any costume and MVP together.
I don't see why that was.
This shouldn't have been in the game. This should, 100%. Yeah.
It should never have been locked.
Yeah.
I think
I did like the auto switching as soon as you like bought the new costume. I was like, oh hey, I want to see my new MVP with it. That I understood. But locking it behind.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's not like you're going to show up differently in the animation. You're going to see the costume that's in there. It's not like you're going to get Pink Jeff inside the flower field.
No, but well, so the one thing that is gonna stay the same though, and I think this is fair, is that the end card for each MVP is drawn, hand drawn. Those will not change, and I think that's more than fair, considering that would cost inordinate amounts of time to hand draw every skin in every position. So I agree with that. This also really cool. Adding the backgrounds.
The background is so fucking boring after a while.
Yeah, and like seeing this every time now is going to be so cool, and being able to change the skin and just have a different background. Very cool. They haven't discussed this, but I kind of like that this little box is here now showing you, and they've moved that from the other page onto here. You can see that now. And something here, look at this week. What's that about?
It looks like the amount of times that you've played potentially. Maybe it's
I was 7. You can only play.
Can you imagine?
No. You earn total play points based on how much you played. You know, like how some things that's play X number of games. Well, instead of that, it's going to have it. You play this much, and then that's all you're earning. Oh, with the loot chests, that's what they did for that.
Yeah.
You can only earn so many points per day. Well, or this week. There you go.
Yeah, potentially. Right, we are getting into kind of like the mechanics now, so we've kind of gone through a lot of the customization stuff. I think we will kind of circle back around because there is some more further in, but obviously we're doing it in kind of how Rivals has released this information. So next up, Wolverine uses the Phoenix Force to ignite a burst of flame with its Feral Leap ability, which causes damage over time to nearby enemies and adds lifesteal to all of his abilities for a brief period. This is going to be disgusting.
Immediately banned.
Wolverine is already a pain currently. He is going to be disgusting with this.
Yeah, he's never playing comp.
Like,
he can survive with that lifesteal. He can survive a Star-Lord ult.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
A Star-Lord ult focusing purely on him. He can survive through it because
he just needs to hit something and lifesteal it. Yeah.
Absolute fucking broken.
Yeah.
Just ban him. Ban.
Yeah. It is just as a team up with Jean.
Yes.
So banning either him or Jean would work for it. So it isn't as broken as it could be.
Yeah.
And that's a weird one. Which one do you ban?
I think you're going to see Jean banned.
In the ass anyway.
I think you're going to see Jean banned more. If I'm being completely honest.
Control? Yeah.
Because she has a lot of like, I mean, we'll go into it a little bit better, but she has a lot of stuff that kind of really, I think, will control, like Tater has just said, control the battlefield, like in a big way.
Good thing. Hopefully, it will teach people you can't just group up and expect everything to be fine. I say this every time we fight a Moon Knight. Stop grouping up. Stop getting close together.
It won't, but yeah.
That's that piece where it's like good. Then if they cry about it, then the loser criers can leave.
It's just going to be a combined Moon Knight and Phoenix, both just blasting the fuck out of your team. They're just going to rip through it.
What I think is important about this team up as well, and more recent team ups, is not all of them. Some of them are still made like an extra button. But I think I prefer team up when it is part of the original kit. It adds on to an ability rather than its own ability, because I always forget the ones that are their own abilities.
Yeah.
Like playing as Magneto, I constantly forgot about his Scarlet Witch thing.
Yes.
I never used it.
Yeah.
And now I constantly forget about the Emma Frost thing as well.
Yeah. So I think when it's built into the kit, it's typically better, right?
Yeah.
Like with Hulk's team ups before with
Yeah.
all of them.
It just made you stronger.
Yeah.
I think it's fundamentally better because it doesn't change your play style when you're playing without them. Like, if it changes so much when you haven't got another character, that's like disorienting because you're playing like two different characters essentially. There's something
it's like the Spidey team. Sorry, there's like the Spidey team up, wasn't it? Like people would beg for a Venom because they couldn't one combo kill people, so they couldn't do it, and they were ass on Spider-Man when they're ass on Spider-Man. But they were bad on Spider-Man because they didn't have the Venom team up because they only knew how to play with the Venom team up.
Yeah, exactly. Because that became such a crutch for them, right? So, some people would say to me with the Scarlet Witch one, and don't get me wrong, that does change a lot. You when you have that kind of like barrage. But people would say to me, "Do you want the team up?" I'm like, "No, I can do without because I've learned Scarlet Witch without." But if you want to give me it, cool. But like I will probably like on occasion forget it because I'm so used to just hitting people normally, you know. It's a little different with Scarlet Witch because I feel like you know that that's your big damage ability if you've got it. So like you do kind of have that a little bit more in mind. But you're right, Ajax. Something like Magneto with the Emma team up, or something like the one that just got removed, the Squirrel Girl team up with Spider-Man. Like, you know,
I actually use that quite a lot as Squirrel Girl though. If I had a Spider-Man, genuine it came in handy a lot. Yeah, because you throw your right click, you pin them down, you shoot them. You don't have a right click ready, you press E, you get another right click. You don't have either of those ready, cool. You have your C, and you could you basically at any given point were able to
stun lock someone. And that's fair.
And kill him.
That's fair. Right. Speaking of Spidey, this is also disgusting. Spider-Man uses Human Torch's flames to shoot a fiery web which damages nearby enemies and applies burn traces. These operate like his regular spider traces, but additionally cause damage over time and ignite for an extra burst of damage when hit with his Get Over Here ability. Players can be afflicted by both Spider Tracer and Burst Tracer simultaneously.
Human Torch again.
They call it the oh man, they had missed a real opportunity to call it the Scorpion team up.
Get Over Here is his normal ability. It's E when that was there.
But if they're already making a joke about Scorpion and his normal ability, then may as well call that Scorpion.
Yeah, that's broken.
I think it's going to be painful.
I've seen a clip of Necros using it, and he literally like bounces, hits him there, bounces up again, hits it, and the timing of the tracer and stuff. He's like, it's unavoidable.
I think you're right that Human Torch is probably going to get banned in these instances because Human Torch is also a pain.
Yeah, Spider-Man's been nerfed to fuck though as well. His ult does less damage, he does less damage. So this team up is
what's going to bring him back up.
It's the only thing that's going to keep him in.
Yeah. So as we said there, we do have some that are kind of going away. We do have some that are changing as well. So
Tornado, don't
get me wrong. I kind of like the idea of this team up, but they've got the Jeff one now, so I understand why it's going. But also of the ESU one, who he just said that's going. Again, I didn't feel like that one personally myself. I never used it, but I get what you're saying, and I get why that might be thinking. But then we also have these.
It was good for Spidey.
So these are getting upgraded. So Symbiote Shenanigans is now getting Hela involved.
Hela's one is
she pulls people in.
It's sickening.
She pulls people in. That makes that ability, like, I actually struggle with that ability a lot. I'm not going to lie.
Otherwise.
So I feel like it's going to be a lot more useful. And because it interrupts people, like, really good. You could put like that down and stop a Wanda ult. You could put that down and stop most ults, actually, to be fair.
It stops ults on its own.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a lot easier to do now.
Exactly.
With the
It'll have a little bit more range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's one that is just building into the base kit, not an active ability.
Exactly. And that's why it works.
It's a great change.
Yeah. And that's why it works.
They really screwed over Hela players to make it extra.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah. And then we've got this other one, which is, I really don't understand this, and I get they need to put her into something, because obviously she just lost her team up. But Stark Protocol?
Yeah, I love it.
I hate it. I hate what they've done, because here it is. Watch this. Absolute bullshit. A nano attack gauntlet that just goes and hits someone, and it's auto aim.
Season, they've gone, everyone hates the flying meta.
Yeah.
Yep.
we've made the flyer meta so that people would hate it. So now we've got this new meta
ways to do
which
it.
everything can take out the flyers. You know, we'll get onto later. The thing, they've given Hela a new team up, so more people might play Hela now and be able to take down the flyers. So
I mean,
like,
even
people complain about the meta, but like it's going to consistently change. There's going to be no meta permanently.
No, definitely not. And I like that because like, you don't want something to dominate forever.
Yeah. So I think giving Squirrel Girl this and Hela the upgrade, I think it's designed for more people to be able to take out flyers.
Yeah. And I get that, but I fundamentally feel this is going to be like strategists getting this in the ass all the time.
The amount of damage it does, though, for 20-second cooldown, I don't think it's worth.
Not a lot.
No, but that could be a very, very quick finisher if someone's going around a corner.
Right.
Because it curves. What's that?
Point. Yeah.
What's that? 1 second.
No, we saw it curve, don't you?
It curves. There, bam.
Yeah, it tracks.
Yeah. So
I
don't
think
know.
that's going to make flyers be more responsible with how they're positioning themselves. So either flyers are going to have to be good again, or we'll see this up here with the thing as well.
Yes.
Like, oh, they're finally making tanks viable again. Thank God.
Yeah, I do feel like a lot of tanks just don't have anything to go against the flying meta, and so having this is really good. So
I think I might mean. I
might be going whole thing. Sorry. Yeah. What I will say is though, I like how you have to still be skilled with it. I think that's a really good like mid ground. That you can jump to them, but you're not going to knock them down unless you haymaker at the right time
in the air. Yeah.
So it's like
I've always wondered why he couldn't just do this anyway. Like if you could
jump to an enemy,
jump to enemies, it's the same fucking thing.
I'm sure there's some mechanic that
because it's so similar to Mr. Fantastic, so he can jump to enemies or allies.
Yeah. So why couldn't the thing do it? But I'm glad. It's what's also interesting as well. It operates on the same cooldown and quantities of your E. Yeah. So if you've got to, if you're going to use your E.
But still, gives you that extra damage block. That's the good news. It's like when I do that, it's still giving him those little stones around.
But if your supports are being hammered, you've got to make a choice: either jump to give them a bit of a shield and keep them alive, or jump to the flyers and.
Yeah, but he does still have those two charges of the ability.
Yeah, they just both go down at the same time, which is nice.
I mean, it's got 4-second cooldown.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'll say for me is as well, and I think obviously everyone's thinking about the flying side of this, but I actually like this for being able to get past. You can use this to get past the main line. If you want to jump in, scare the back line, and then jump out, that is a potential here. And I think that's a really cool thing for the thing to be able to do. Give him that kind of like, because he's not. You can keep Thing at kind of the front line, but having an option to kind of go back there and make like a cloak and dagger shit for 2 seconds and then get out is also a worthwhile thing, right? You know,
I think if you pair this with Iron Fist, it's going to be a great dive brawl comp. Because you're dealing both punching damages, able to get out in and out really quickly, so that'll be really
with this combo though. I can already see you him down, you left shift on your way down, so you bounce them twice.
Yes,
like you bounce them twice, and then you could F again and finish them off.
Or if you have someone like Hela on your team with that new one, you bring them down, and then suddenly they're getting tethered again. Potentially if you've got someone who's good, or a Sue as well. If a Sue's able to do something as well, you've got like a good like synergy there. If Sue can keep them kind of down for a little bit longer, you get another hit in because Thing has a little bit of range on his right click anyway, so there's potential there.
I think the whole thing as well with that Squirrel Girl team up is we're going to see a lot less flies anyway, so that Squirrel Girl team up probably isn't going to be used much because they've just fucking destroyed the flying meta. They've stopped it. Yeah.
Now, this video here is talking sort of briefly about buffs and nerfs and etc. I'm going to leave that one because we're going to go into the patch notes eventually a little bit further up. But here we have this. I really like the look of. Obviously, we'll have to see the rest in game, but I really love the look of this Storm skin. Yeah. That's cool. And that's for free as well. Yeah. So
what is around it? So obviously we've got the orange venom below.
Yeah, which looks like a
Galactus or a Galacta.
I think it's Galacta. I think it is. Yeah. I feel like someone showed it somewhere, but I can't remember what it was. I will try and see if we've got it further up. Gallery mode changes. We've got cinematics, so we can view the cinematics. I think this is just a cool thing to have, but not like But like cinematics of the maps, which is cool to have, especially because some of those will rotate out eventually. You know what's going to happen. So, right, results screen overhaul. This is big. This looks really cool.
I like this one. Yeah.
This looks really cool. You get to see the proficiency.
Out of 700 accessory points.
Oh, so you get your accessories. You earn your accessory points. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I love the proficiency being on there.
And then you get this as well.
What is this?
This is your battle pass. Your Milana Repair Logs. Galacta's gift. Here, look, there must be a... You're right. There must be...
Gift,
yeah. So that's cool. That's pretty cool.
Could you rewind it just the tiniest bit for the end of that?
Okay, yeah.
The bottom of the battle pass thing, it was like purchase premium to get things. We've got a preview of some things there.
Yeah. So
we've got the legendary squirrel girl.
Yeah, that's the unstable molecules that you get. I think you're getting those now as well, which I think go towards chroma and stuff like that potentially.
It was
the chroma and the ultimate thing.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool that you're going to be able to kind of over time get one if you want.
Yeah.
And obviously that looks like the MVP and the nameplate for her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is cool. On the next one, we have... Right, so this is really cool. I really think this is a cool initiative. So with the launch of Marvel Rivals Season 3 on July 11th, don't know why I said... I'm looking at 3. July 11th, college and university students can get access to 10 free skins and MVP animation trials just by verifying their student email address. So what this means is, so long as you're a student, you will get a free rotation of skins to be able to play those characters with skins. Now, you don't keep them, but I do think that's a cool idea to allow you to basically get skins for free for a time.
Yeah, that's fair. I have no opinion on it.
I just think it's a cool way for someone who's broke to basically have a cool skin in the game. You're in the nicest possible way, you know? Like, it doesn't matter to me, but I think it would matter to some people.
Yeah, that's chill.
Right.
If I was still at uni while being a student, that would be great.
Yeah, exactly. So Marvel Rivals is getting Discord SDK integration with the launch of Season 3 on July 11th. Players will have access to the full suite of Discord social features and even message their in-game friends from the Discord app.
Cool.
Which is really cool of way of saying, I'm on Rivals, and you don't have to tab out the game to do it. You can just grab someone there. That is not part of... That is just art. That's just art someone did,
cute,
which is really cool. Shout out to Neo JPEG for that art. Here's the patch notes. No, wait, that's the July 3rd patch notes. We can skip those.
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals is coming to San Diego Comic Con 2025. I'm sure we'll learn something about it there. Upcoming trailer schedule. Right, well, here we go. Jean. Oh, hello. Wow. Bam.
Stare to her soul.
I see you.
All right, Sauron. She's disgusting.
And she has self-heal. That's one of the...
And the little fly. And then that little bombardment that she does.
Yeah, crazy.
It's disgusting.
It's an awful lot of AoE damage.
It is.
Yeah.
It's exactly what Tater said. You're going to want to try and stay split when you're dealing with her.
Yeah, because that's just wiped everyone out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's like hit scan as well. It looks like, which is but I like how you can play her sort of like, if you look at the footage at this first part, she's relatively close up.
Yeah.
And then later on,
a lot of people put hella close up as well because they fucking aim.
Yeah, but like then later on, she's a lot further range here.
Yeah.
And it like fine. So like I think that's kind of cool to have a character who you can play a little bit, like you can play two different ways, so to speak. She's just flexing on us there, and there we go. Right, this part now. So Hela's ultimate goes off here. Jean activates hers. She destroys Hela, and bam, knocks her into the ground.
Yeah, I've seen videos of what her ult can break through, and it's pretty much everything.
I'm not surprised though. It's Jean Grey. It's apart from Wanda, the other character, like most powerful character going, right? So like obviously, in my opinion. But yeah, I think she looks really cool.
Yeah, I think she looks really fun to play as. I think fun is the best way, because like she looks like she does a lot of damage and stuff, but I think it just genuinely looks, when you get those 3 sparks off, I think it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun to do, you know. I
like the fact that she seems like she's going to be versatile, like able to deal with flaggers to a degree, deal with people on the ground, deal with range, deal with like a little bit more of an all-rounder.
Change the game for your team.
Yeah,
100%.
Tater, Ajax, your thoughts?
Did we actually see her left shift ability in this trailer?
Left shift. Yeah, it's the fly. 1 second here.
So fly is E. Shift is her teleport.
Oh, okay.
She does when she's...
Oh, there.
Not this bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like a dash.
So she has a lot of maneuverability, actually, you're right.
So from what I saw in the, like, what the abilities do, it leaves a clone behind.
Yeah, so...
And then you can... You detonate the clone.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't notice that. Let me look at that again.
Also adds a spark.
Oh yeah, you see it for a split second there. Look.
Yeah. If any enemies touch it, it explodes.
Yep. Which is a really nice feature.
You can see it.
Because you know that people are just gonna get, especially those melee characters that they got right there just demonstrating.
Well, Venom's diving in, you know, so like he's already on his way to death.
I really like that they're going thematic with this as well. The fact that she can deal with Venoms, the fact that she can deal with Hellas. You know, I like it when there's almost a story beat within the gameplay to a degree as well. I kind of really enjoy that.
Being able to deal with Wanda.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense because Emma hates Wanda, you know? So, yeah, I think she looks really cool. Excited to play her, obviously, next week. That's just her MVP animation. Right, the skin again here, full look at it. I think it looks better when you see the full skin. I still don't love it. I really still don't love it.
There's too much detail on the black part of her. It looks like armor. I know it probably is armor, but like obviously in the comics and stuff, she's not worn.
It's usually cloth.
So
it
is wear like fucking spandex and shit. Done that because it's superheroes. But
it is literally just the green and yellow.
Yeah.
This black sort of come from nowhere, but they've got to have their own spin on things. And
yeah, 100% agree.
They do, but do you know how people complain about MCUification of outfits? And I don't necessarily always agree with that, but like it's giving that. It's giving overly complex, in my opinion. Because I if they went with the bodice for the whole design and went down into the legs with the same kind of idea, I'd like it. If they did the legs and the arms similar to the bodice, like the other way around, like the bodice similar to the arms, I'd like that too. Yeah. But the fact that it's a mix of the two is what my issue is. If you know what I mean. I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love it. But I do love, like, face card don't lie. Just to clarify again, face card don't lie.
I like the purple telekinesis.
Yes.
And the orange flames, like them working in combo together.
Yeah, making it kind of like the actual Jean Grey as well as the Phoenix. Yeah.
So do any of her attacks use that psychic?
Yeah, like, well, that's her kind of like shift, right? Like that's all kind of purpley.
Yeah. So that the clone she left behind was purple.
Yeah. Right. Next one. The map. Clintar Celestial Husk map. I don't think I love this map. To be honest, I don't think it really... Because we've been at Clintar, I think that's my issue. Like, it looks samey. And it is, because it's Clintar.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. I of the corpse.
Yeah.
Like, I know at one point, I think you can see a cage that you're surrounded by, but like...
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we in a facility? I thought it would be...
Like, actually, like, the guts of a beast.
Yeah.
Celestial.
We put it like up here.
Exactly.
It should have been up here.
Exactly the same as the Clintar map now.
Yeah. I mean, I even said I thought that the map was being changed for this. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that we are going back to Clintar purely because at the moment, every map apart from Clintar and Hydra have 2 maps on.
Agree.
Yeah.
So now this is bringing it up to having the 2 there.
Yeah.
And the second half of the season might take us somewhere else entirely. We might be going somewhere more Phoenix related.
That's true, yeah, because now we've got...
It doesn't mean that we're
domination on Clintar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't disagree with that.
continue with Clintar for the second half. We might go off somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. What I would say is that for me, like, you look at something like Krakoa and it's just a domination map, but you look at Krakoa and each 3 of those pieces feels incredibly distinct.
Yeah.
And I think I just would have liked if we had a Venomized inside of the Celestial. That could have been cooler.
If we're going with this Celestial theme here, do you think there's a chance that for the second half we might be going to Nowhere?
Potentially, I mean, they've talked about the collector's stuff with Mantis before.
I mean, Nowhere is the head of this Celestial.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, the Guardians are on. I mean, that's one of the missions for this this patch is the Milano flight logs. So potentially you could see that. I think, as some people have been saying as well, and I don't know how true this is, that we might see 1 map per season going forward, because before we would be getting 2 maps over 3 months. Now they're saying you're going to get 2 maps over 4 months, which obviously is only slightly different. But
you get one half season, wouldn't you? And they're doing half seasons anymore.
Well, but the thing is, we usually hear about it. We usually hear about the 2 skins at the beginning of this. Like when they do the dev vision, they say 2 skins coming, and they'll say, we'll show you the other one later. They haven't this time. Yeah. So unsure about that personally. So we'll see how that turns out. But the thing is, what I think is fun, I was thinking about this, and I did a little the most rudimentary maths. We would get 2 less maps a year, but considering we would get more skins and more characters in that time, it kind of evens out. You know what I mean in terms of content.
Really, I think
the maps are the maps, aren't they? Like, as long as you're getting a sensible stream of maps, you're not too bothered.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Clintar.
Straight back to the same fucking map again. You go,
That's Clintar. Hero balance adjustment. Let me open that quick. Okay, right. So first up, Vanguards.
Sorry, Nate.
Emma Frost. Looks like the White Queen is training a bit of offense for more glam. Her damage and her survivability in diamond form are taking a slight hit.
Yeah.
Reduce telepathic pulse damage, reduce diamond form damage, and reduce the energy cost of psionic seduction. So the energy cost thing isn't bad, because that means you're going to get that more.
Yeah.
But these two...
The 5% diamond form, while it doesn't sound like much, 5% is big.
It is huge. It changes your survivability a lot.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's kind of like...
I've gone diamond to run away, to survive.
That's my issue with it. Emma is not a very good disengage tank. And more to the point, I find that sometimes she can just melt. Not saying she's always, but I feel like sometimes she can. I don't know if I personally felt that she needed that reducing. I think her annoyance is the other stuff, right? I think this is not necessarily a bad thing. I think this is interesting, though.
Yeah, the damage reduction isn't too severe.
Yeah.
Like, for the majority of the time, if you're at hit the so like
he's breaking up.
Yeah, you broke up there. Start again.
Sorry. The majority of the time when you have 100 energy, you're hitting the target already.
Yes.
So you're not like an extra 10 seconds, 10 damage per that second. It's not going to make much of a difference because you're still already fucking. You're melting them already. You're already hitting them. So that's not too much of an issue. But 5% on the damage reduction just seems just a bit unnecessary.
I mean, even if they went like a few percent, I feel like this feels like a lot to knock off a tank.
It's a jump.
We'll see if they rebuff it. Because again, usually they go a little overboard with the buffs. People stop playing the characters as much, and then they might rebalance it a little bit better in the second season.
Yeah.
What I think the reason they do this to a degree is because I think they want. I think this is what Emma would have been like. I think what they do is, and I think most games do this now when they release new characters, is they make them busted to start with so people enjoy them and play them and learn them. And then they kind of bring them more in line with where they were kind of intending for them to be anyway. And maybe that's a little bit cynical or a little bit like conspiracy theory.
No, I think you're right. I just don't think Emma was busted from the get-go.
Yeah. So that's that for Emma. So but I'm interested about this though, because that means that she's going to get her ult a little bit more frequently.
She will, but when she's doing a little bit less damage, she's gonna charge the ult slower.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
It's not, I don't think it's
we'll see.
Much of a buff as it looks.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, because true. But
and she's gonna take less damage.
Thing we've already talked about. That's just all the same stuff again. Venom, nothing crazy. Cellular corrosion, enemy slow effect. Actually, it is quite crazy. I just looked at the numbers.
10%.
That's 10%. So that's when he's going to slow enemies a lot, actually. A lot more, which is interesting. It makes sense, though. I mean, I feel like a lot of people scatter from Venom pretty quickly, so I'd be interested to see how that plays out.
Honestly, I don't think I even knew that he did slow you when he did that.
There you go.
He does, yeah. It's like I said, but like I think that's wise because it's such a minor slow that you don't realize you're even being slowed.
But being slowed 15%, I didn't notice. I probably would notice 25.
Yeah,
you're gonna feel it.
So this one. So first of all, similarly to what Ajax just said, I didn't realize there was an activation shockwave on Johnny's ult. Did anyone else realize that?
Yeah, no.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oops. So there's that, as well as a little bit of a reduction to his fire cluster damage. But he has 5% damage boost now. So I feel like that just negates this anyway, right? I feel like he's basically where he was.
It's only a 5% boost while with Spidey, though, isn't it?
Well, because this is the thing. So I need to work this. I need to look at this because, as I've understood it, it says that in the game, but the anchor boosts seem to always be applied. If you're the anchor, it seems you always get that buff.
We will test it later because if we go,
all you need to do is test someone's health. Exactly.
Yeah, we can test that immediately.
Yeah. Iron Man. We've got Tony's slight powering down with reduced damage output and a longer wait for his ultimate.
Good.
Fucking good. Eat shit, dude. I'm sick of pulse cannons.
Yeah.
He did get it way too often.
Yeah.
An increase of 600, again, that's big.
It is, 100%. Yeah. That's all I have to say on that. Fuck you, Iron Man. Really?
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic, similarly, like a smaller fuck you. Obviously, just a little bit less survivable in his inflated state.
He needed that. Fuck me, that guy doesn't die.
He just doesn't. Like, if you've got a good healer on him, he's basically invincible.
Fucking without the healer, the rest of the team can be dead, and he's just still stood there. And you're like,
I kind of liked it because he was very much a tanky DPS.
Yes.
Yeah, and he still is. Like 50's not.
It's not going to
get enough, but it's not huge.
Yeah. And it's only in his inflated state as well. He still can be a pain in his normal state. you know? So, and also if he has that team up with Sue still, he's still going to be a pain. You know? Namor, increased Trident of Neptune projectile damage by 5. So that's nothing crazy. But they have increased the speed of it, which is interesting. Means it's basically going
to left and right clicker.
So that'll be interesting. But I don't think it's like a killer change.
I think he needed it.
Yeah.
And it's like I said before, they're working out the flying meta. They're taking it away. So having someone like Namor who already people pick to counter flyers with the squids, he's able to hit them a lot.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like this is a nothing burger. I'm going to be honest. It's the big nothing burger. Reduce max slow rate during reality erasure. Charge for period from 35% to 25% and increased damage from.
You move a bit faster, but and do more damage. But however, doesn't it just kill people anyway?
It pretty much eviscerates most people. Like the only person who's probably going to survive Groot.
Or times in diamond form, but.
Shielded Venom.
Yeah. But like, it's a big nothing burger to me. Like, I feel like what you want really is something that I think you need to kind of relook at how you. I think Wanda's one of those characters that actually, don't get me wrong, I really like Wanda as she is, but I think she's one where a little bit more of a deeper, in-depth look at her kit is needed to make her more feasible across the board. In my opinion, but that's just me. Spider-Man, you were saying before, he got nerfed a little bit. Oh no, he got increases.
Yeah, I was gonna say it says rejoice.
That's all increases. Yeah.
By 5.
Wait,
By 5, 15 for the spider power.
I thought people were kicking off because he got nerfed.
No, he has.
No,
sorry. He has lost his anchor bonus, which means he'll have lost 5% damage.
Oh no!
Yeah,
which is basically he's
basically evened out. Yeah.
Right. 5% is 2.5. So
Punisher.
Yeah, it's this character the same.
Yeah, Punisher reduce culling turret projectile damage and decrease the spell field damage. So less bounce on that, and increase the cost of his final judgment. Do you know what? As someone who's been playing Punisher more recently, I agree. Fundamentally agree. He gets that too often.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair.
Especially with the speed boost he got last season.
No, that's fair. I was going to say I don't disagree with that, but if you think he's got,
I think he's getting a little bit too much with characters people who are obviously playing well. You know, the thing is with Punisher is it's a lot more of a gap. You know, because people pick up Punisher and they think, right, Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty simulator. Yeah. So there's some people who are ass and there's some people who are better. But generally, I think if you're relatively good at Punisher, you're getting that a lot. So I think that's right. Bucky getting a little bit more dangerous from downtown. Okay, very weird. Adjust rotor stern damage fall off maximum of 40 meters from 60% to 70%. Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, let's move on. Feral leap strike duration from 4 to 5 seconds and increase its cooldown from 12. So the cooldown's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Which I think is necessary considering what we've just learned.
Yeah.
About their team up. So
that's significantly longer.
Yeah.
But needed.
3 seconds is a lot when you think about it, as it builds up a lot across the match. This one I find peculiar, right? Invisible Woman. I don't know if she needed anything more. I feel like she's in a really healthy state. Not that I'm against it, but I feel like she's relatively in a good state. And in saying
5 is not the most.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's not a nerf and it's not a buff.
I think it's on return. So it's more you do initial big damage, and then when it comes back, then it's less. So,
but it works out to be the same. So if you shoot someone and it goes through and comes back, it is exactly the same as it used to be.
Oh, so they're saying I see what you're saying. So primary hit, yeah. A little bit more reliable. I get what they're saying now. Yeah. So actually, what you're saying is they've prioritized the first hit as opposed to the second hit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I get that now. No, that actually is a good change. Yeah.
Because chances are, if you're healing someone, you're stood behind them, you're going to hit them with the first one, they run away, the return's going to miss.
Yeah. Increase the energy cost of God of Mischief. Thank fuck. I'm sick of this little fucker. I'm sick of him.
It's just the variety of Loki players you get. Some will use it perfectly and use it constantly, and others will just sit on it for all 3 rounds, and I hate it.
My thing is,
they'll take a Moon Knight ult and just throw it out.
Yeah.
And
are you talking from experience, Nate, by chance?
Yeah,
the thing is, for me, is that fundamentally, regardless of what a Loki is using that ult for, they're usually annoying with it.
Yeah.
And so a little bit less of that. A little bit less of that is appreciated.
Your powers are mine, and you go, right, fuck, who is he taking?
What's happening now?
Am I about to be exploded?
Yeah.
Or is it just on a support ult?
Okay, so Mantis's healing touch grows and her ultimate is more potent, but its frequency is reduced. I do think you hear gather to me a lot. So I think that's necessary. That's sort of right. Yeah, gather around there. But the fact that it's a little bit more strong when that happens is good. So now, Healing Flower new effect heals allies by 2.5% per second. Reduce base healing from 20 seconds to 12.5. So it's more bursty. Is that what I'm getting? Am I right in thinking that?
It's the initial. Yeah, it's quicker.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Mantis.
So I'll break down the full numbers of this one, and it really is better for tanks because tanks 2.5% of your health is going to be significantly more.
Yeah, it's decent.
But they broke it down, and the average that people were getting healed anyway, like your squishiest people, Mantis isn't going to be the one prioritizing healing you anyway.
No.
So
yeah.
She's there to top off the rest of the healing.
Yeah, she's definitely like you want a cloak and dagger and then a Mantis type thing.
Yeah.
You never want to see Mantis on her own, especially with fucking Ultron.
Ultron. Ultron, reduce dynamic flight acceleration effect from it. So he's basically a little bit slower, and reduce the bonus health, his shield, so to speak, down as well. I don't think the dynamic flight I'm indifferent to, really. But this, I don't know if we really want to be taking potential bonus health away from a character who can't really heal much quickly. But that's just me.
In that case, it just again, I think with a new flyer,
they're trying
to increase the positioning as opposed to, oh, you'll just be able to survive anything, because it's a pain in the dick sometimes to kill a Ultron if it's just you killing them.
Yeah, that's true. Right, team up abilities. So we've talked about these two, the Human Torch and Phoenix one, so we'll skip past those. But adjusted or removed, we've talked about those. Removed and adjusted ones. Well, obviously it's showing kind of the more nitty gritty of it, but there's some balance change ones down here. So Guardian Revival. We're slightly reducing the usage coverage of this team up, as even the Guardians need to pace themselves. So basically, increase Leader's Soul and Nature's Soul ability cooldown from 120 seconds to 135. Basically, Mantis and Starlord can come back less by way of Adam's ult, by Adam's team up per match.
Yeah,
and it's like a significant amount, because that's going to add up across the match.
And then Starlord.
Yeah. And then Jeff's part of the symbiote shenanigans, increase Guardian of the Deep maximum bonus health from 50 to 100 and max tendril link period from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. So more healing.
That's good. Yeah,
I agree with that. I never found it useful enough to warrant switching to a Venom or getting. If I had it, I used it. But
yes.
Again, I forgot that it existed.
It is one of those ones that hasn't been used much. Right.
I don't think I've ever been healed by it.
This is really long. I'm going to open it in its own tab because I'm going to read it. And if you guys want to say something, stop me. We're often told that to forge a truly great hero, you need a truly great villain. Years ago, we saw Null awaken on the page, this primordial terror of the void who casually decapitated a Celestial just because some people dared to turn on the lights while he was sleeping. The sheer weight of his presence leapt off the page. We wondered, wow, this monster the right-hand artist created. Can any hero possibly defeat such overwhelming evil? Yet as time passed and we began work on Season 3, The Abyss Awakens for Marvel Rivals, we realized it's been nearly 4 years since Venom defeated Null in the comics. Even the title King in Black no longer belongs solely to Null, but has become a cosmic concept, standing opposite the Ivory Kings. With Venom already, I don't know who the Ivory Kings are, by the way, and I'm a Marvel head, I don't know who they are. With Venom already in our launch roster, how could we bring new heroes and fresh stories into this season? It was a challenge we wrestled with for a long time. That's when our partners at Marvel Games suggested, why not make Phoenix the force that rises against Null? They encouraged us to try something bold, something different from the comics. The idea was electrifying. The Phoenix and the symbiotes, light and darkness, fire and the living abyss that fears the flame, and yet they're strikingly similar. Both yearn for a destined horse. Both seek to merge and share purpose, emotion, and destiny. At that moment, we realized this isn't just a symbiote season or a Phoenix season. It's something more. Even now...
Apparently
yeah, go ahead.
Ivory Kings are the Beyonders.
Oh, there you go. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Don't put that in our heads. The Beyonder? Damn. Okay.
I mean...
Even now...
How do you know that by him?
There you go. Even now, we struggle to find a human word to capture the relationship between Eddie and his symbiote. They've long surpassed friendship or family. Even the most intimate words don't describe the bond they share. Okay. From their chance encounter in that church, they embraced each other's hatred, shared the pain of being abandoned by the same person, and together they fell into darkness. Through cycles of hurt and healing, of parting and reunion, they rediscovered their humanity and transformed into a hero, a protector. The Phoenix and Jean share a bond just as deep and complex. At times, both mother and daughter to one another. From the cosmic force, Jean learned to be bold. From the human, the Phoenix learned restraint. Through countless deaths and rebirths, they finally became one, truly inseparable. I think this is important, this part. In our game, Jean has reached this perfect union with the Phoenix Force. So what I would say straight away is we're probably not going to see a season where Jean... Well, we could, but where Jean decimates everyone as Dark Phoenix.
We won't get a Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, I think that's what that is implying. Unless Doom messes with Jean at some point or something like that, I don't see that happening.
But also, we've had Dark Phoenix too much.
Yeah, it's very oversaturated in media. It's like Spider-Man's origin story at this point. As for Blade, he may seem an odd choice at first, but look closer. He too bears a double-edged blessing and curse, human and vampire, forever balancing reason and the urge to feed. That's why this season we awaken him to serve as the sword that stands against all black, the Necrosword, and the Queen in Black. So this is a season about symbiotes, but also about the Phoenix. It's about exchange and union, coexistence and balance. Many utterly different powers will blend and clash, merging on this grand stage. These forces act like colours on a canvas. Ironic that you did only black skins. Unique and distinct, vying for their place. Yet when black is added to the palette, ironic, the remaining colours can be unified under the term light. So instead of asking who will rage against the dying of the light, perhaps the real question is, how can Null be defeated? As whether it's Eric Brooks and his Sword of Dracula, Eddie Brock and his closest companion, or Jean Grey the Phoenix and their most chaotic rival, there may only ever be one answer. Evil will never truly be defeated until we are one. What I find really interesting about this, and I know they've brought out stuff like this before, but I love how they actually have a design philosophy when they're doing this. I'm not saying that other game studios don't, but they've actually thought about the characters they're putting in and how they link to the season and why they do, even if they do seem odd, like they're saying here about Blade, and kind of they do actually really care about the story they're putting out. I know it's a game that's about really beating up people, like in an arena, so to speak. Sure, yeah. But like Marvel has always been about story, right? It is. Like, even the MCU is trying to tell a grand story. Might not do it well all the time, but it is. So seeing the game try and take that on is really cool, in my opinion. And it kind of goes back to us talking about Hela earlier, right at the start. The fact that they're using her as kind of this throughput for things that are going on in the universe is really cool. And we'll go on to that as well, because there's something else about Hela that I want to discuss. But yeah, I think I really love this. I love that they're thinking about what they're doing. I love that they care about the characters they're putting in the game and why. And it's interesting because something else will come up about this again later, about another season. And I'm interested to see what they do with that in a very similar way.
I like the fact that they've done a Phoenix and symbiote season. A symbiote season it would have been cool, but I think the combination of the two of them, it just mixes up enough to keep it interesting. Like the Ultron season, obviously with the Krakoa, that you had the Hellfire Gala and Krakoa, but the Hellfire Gala, like, you get the fancy skins, I get, but it wasn't theme per se, because they could be any, like, they're all so vastly different in their outfit.
It was eclectic, like we kind of said at the start. So
it's nice to have like two running themes.
Yeah, two kind of counter running themes for the season. Yeah, I do think that's what I like about it the most, actually. I think, and also the fact you do want a conflict in the season. Like if we had just had Hellfire Gala and it was just like, oh, things are just Hellfire-y, and that's it. Like, okay. Like there would be no story there, right? So having Ultron come in and kind of be the kind of the force against that is good. This one that we're kind of going to war, and that it kind of leaves Doom aside for a moment, which I like.
Yeah,
it's cool.
They're gonna forget about Doom for this moment.
It's gonna be a bigger threat in the future.
Yeah. So here we have your boy, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Sorry that I'm showing a streamer here, but
I see it in the very bottom right.
That's lovely.
I'm so excited.
We're going to get that as well. I think that's a little further up here, but more Jeff, more Squirrel Girl. There's the Groot skin.
Oh, that looks amazing.
It's giving Alien.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. But again, like the Squirrel Girl, why is the
shoulder?
Yeah, why is it not on the mouth?
Yeah.
However, he is a tree, so
it's a little bit different. Yeah.
I think I will allow it.
Him a mouth. Like they also gave him a mouth though, so that's the higher.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right, we're going to talk about the most ass skins of this season.
Hey, you gotta skip.
This is ass. This is ass. I'm sorry, it's ass.
What is it? Why is it? What's the white and gold?
I think they're just making trying to do like king and white skins as well. Adam Warlock, Golden Panther, King in white.
Why?
I don't know. They're horrible.
Why not? Because
I hate them.
It's art.
I hate them. And then
white and gold to go with the white and black.
This version, this version of this,
like a different character.
I kind of like it here.
It doesn't look like Wolverine.
It doesn't, but I kind of like that. But anyway,
there's that one guy from Invincible that gets his head cut off all the time. The Immortal. He looks a little bit like the Immortal.
Yeah, I get that. I get you.
Oh, Namor. I know it's not necessarily very akin to the comic book look as it is here, but I do kind of like this.
I was going to say, yeah. So I
the comic book version.
When I saw the Emma one, I went to look for the costumes in there and what they look like, and I was like, do you know what? I think they pussied out.
I mean, fair. I get it.
Like, I sort of disagree.
The men one, they already did Wolverine.
I sort of disagree with Namor because all of Namor's other skins basically have his like chest out. Yeah. So I think that's why they did this one differently. I think that's fundamentally why, because they didn't want to have just another skin where Namor has his chest out. Now people are saying
the only difference would be that the trousers are a different color.
Yeah. And like, so you have to kind of fundamentally do something different because otherwise people are just going to say skins are all the same.
But isn't he like that one character from Metal Gear Solid where he breathes through his skin?
I don't know about that.
He has gills, doesn't he?
I don't know about that, but he has
I'm making a joke about
why his feet out in this, and also he has his face out, so I think he'll be fine. The Spider-Man skin again there. I actually really love the kind of like,
I like
armored parts of this. I kind of like that it's like overly. I like that they've done it based on their base skin.
Yeah,
that it's taken over.
It's not just the Spider-Man skin painted black and white. It's got more Venom in it.
Yeah, exactly. Right, here we go. The Jeff MVP animation. Let me put this back at the start for you, Tater.
Perfect, thank you. It's so cute. That's my baby.
Oh, it's going all... Let's not pixelate, thank you. 1 second.
I love where you paused it. It's just him eating an AI fries. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it.
He is pretty cool.
The little shock collar, too. It's like,
that's your boy. So that's his MVP. Right, okay. So Jean is really losing here, because this is Jean's other skin that she's getting on launch.
So is this the purple skin?
This is her Chaos skin.
It almost kind of looks like a little bit like Madeline Pryor.
So this is a skin based on, as you can see, Wanda's in the background there. So the idea of this skin is there's going to be a 2-part skin that is Jean and Wanda, and they have basically teamed up as part of like a yin and yang type situation where their 2 powers intertwine.
Okay, but in that case, why not put Wanda in the other skin?
They do this a lot where they don't actually do that. I don't know why, but
see, here's the thing. Do you see like where the belt's at? It has like, I know that Wanda is technically Romani, but like it really gives off
impact frames. Jesus Christ, you paused on the perfect spot there.
Yeah, Peralta always does.
Bam!
Oh wow, that's insane.
I just hate. I hate how this looks. I hate it.
I prefer it to the base skin.
I prefer it to the base skin, but I don't love it.
I like the
silver bits. Well, like with the diamonds. With the
this is cool. This is cool.
I thought they were coins.
This is cool. This is cool.
I like. So in her base skin, it's ribbons coming off the side. In this one, it looks like it's phoenix feathers.
Yeah.
The parts that I don't love are basically. Let me get a nice good. Oh, 1 second. It's lagging. It's lagging. There. I don't like basically. I've said this about Wanda skins before. They do. Funny that it's inspired by Wanda. If you cut it there, it looks great. This. What is this? Those boots. A crime to fashion.
I want you to design some skins now, probably.
The legs are so empty.
She should have had thigh-high boots going to about there, and it would have looked so much better. I'm sorry. I know I'm Edna Moding this, but like it's true.
I agree with that, but then you'd have to cut off the leggings. I think that would sell it so much better if you did not have the leggings and it was just high boots. I would agree with that statement.
Okay, let's hit on Squirrel Girl again, guys. So this is what we were talking about earlier with the tail.
I will say Tippy Toe being Venom
is cute.
I love Tippy Toe being Venom.
Yeah, but I hate this.
Really boring MVP.
Yeah, she always does. She always has boring ones. I'm sorry, she does.
I mean, I like the newest one.
So is this just like the one that they show when? Oh yeah, okay. So this is her taking the chaos energy into her. And like, don't get me wrong, it's cool, but it's just not cool. You know what I mean? Like,
I think.
Right.
It makes her head look gigantic.
This is my new favorite. Like, I would have this as my desktop. This, just as good.
Pretty cool.
This is a reference to the comic where he gets it for the first time, Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Sides right there.
And this is also really cool.
Yeah.
I don't like his mouth on his actual mouth.
You don't like it?
Well, the mouth is just, again, it's on his tail. Why? What's the obsession with the tail?
No, is that not the rocket launcher? Is that not is that in his backpack?
No, I think that is his tail.
You sure?
It's hard to tell. Again, we'll see whenever this
hard to tell. Comes out. This I kind of like. I mean, obviously, I know it's a 2D drawing, but this I kind of like.
Yeah, that's gonna slap.
That's not Battle Pass, though, is it?
No, it'll be paid.
That's definitely a purchase.
But like, I think it'll look good. And then we have Magic's Dark Child form here, which looks insane. Look, they've made it really bird-like.
Yeah, I like that.
That's really cool. And then we have Iron Fist here.
Which, Iron Fist getting all the skins every season.
He gets some really cool skins, doesn't he?
Yeah. Binary one. Cool.
He has a Phoenix Force.
He had 2 last season.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm. He did. He had one in the past, and then he got the paid. BP. I don't love this. The reason I don't love it is why has he got flames on his head? Everything else looks great. Why has he got fucking flames on his head?
It's better than his Gold Panther.
Yeah.
That's true.
The artwork for Wolverine now is better as well.
So this is graphic content. It's not actually. So this is spoilers now. I don't know. Do you guys care about the story, or do you want to?
No.
You don't.
Go for it.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Go for it.
Like the lore that basically they data mine what is already in like for the lore for the season.
Like when you get those like gallery cards. Like explain something.
Do you want to skip over that or
carry on? I'll
If you need to look away, look away.
I will look away.
Okay. I was gonna read it, but I won't now. This is a very evocative drawing.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
What is going on?
Venom?
Hela basically taking Venom from
it's stealing. Yeah,
from Eddie.
Yep.
She's pulling. I was going to say she's pulling it off, but that's
She's pulling it off.
So is that our first look at Eddie in game?
Yeah, kind of, pretty much.
And I don't know if we're
going to go up to that now. Yeah, we'll go that. Yeah, okay. Let's jump up a little bit so I can look at that because this is really interesting, actually. So first of all, there's the Wonder skin, which I think is going to look ass, by the way.
Oh.
I like it here, but I think it's going to end up looking ass in game. But I hope it doesn't because I think it looks cool. This.
Yeah.
This is maybe the hardest drawing of the patch. And it's Venom and the Phoenix Force and Eddie.
And is that Dracula's sword?
Yeah,
I think it might be the Necro sword.
I think that's Dracula's because Blade was using a flaming
potentially. Sword. It could be. This could be like the end of this. This costume depicts a time in the battle against Null where Venom transformed using energy from a fragment of the Phoenix Egg. So that's all it says there. But I kind of hope the skin actually looks like this and Eddie's face is out. I think that would be such a cool.
I think that'll be an emote.
Because look at that.
That is actually really cool.
Yeah. So that's really cool. I think that might be my new favorite Venom skin when that drops.
Can you imagine headshot Eddie instead of
that's a better picture of like Wanda and Jean going up against Null.
That's so sick though.
Do you think it's cool?
Jean's outfit was better. That would have been like
a really cool combo. Yeah. But
they've got to have a team up then in the
next season.
Next season, yeah, surely.
Or if they do somewhat of a 0.5, because they will, because Blade will have to launch, but whatever that ends up being. Even though Doom War takes a backseat to the threat of Null's reemergence, as both Dr. Doom and his 2990 side counterpart enter the fray, but true to form, they're always on the hunt for an edge in their ongoing feud. So they're taking a little bit of a backseat again here, but they are sort of there still.
Wait, what's go back on that one? The Doom thing?
Yeah, there we go.
One's looking at a symbiote thing, one's looking at a Phoenix Force thing.
Okay, so essentially this backseat.
This is what I was
the war.
Yeah,
they're always they're always the main focus.
This is what just background. This is what my interest is. Is he trying to manipulate Phoenix energy somehow?
He's trying to absorb. One of them is trying to get a venom. One of them is trying to symbiote himself. The other is trying to.
Yeah,
Phoenix himself.
Is trying to get the venom.
Yeah. That blade against Tater.
Yes, it is. So that's like a depiction of the trailer, basically.
And yeah, that's the same sword. So that's got to be Dracula's sword.
Yeah, it probably is. To be fair.
Yeah. So Venom, it's got 3.
Yeah,
we've got Blade, Sword, Venom, and the Phoenix Sword.
Yeah, so he's basically it's basically the culmination of the season in a way, isn't it?
I wonder if that case if Blade's gonna fall.
Right. So this is interesting.
Rip spoilers.
As the King in Black regains the upper hand, the last flame of hope is extinguished. Our battered heroes can only watch as Null lands a killing blow against the Phoenix, and this is why I was somewhat coy about what I was saying about Dark Phoenix before. A profound silence washes over the battlefield. Is this truly the end, or just the final step in a plan so devious, even Doom himself would be proud? I hope it isn't. I don't want it. But could we see Dark Phoenix in Season 4?
What I would find interesting is... I know Loki was somewhat involved in some bits of Season 1 and 2.
The base kind of, yeah.
Remove Hela from being playable.
What, like for a season or something?
Yeah, because she's the main villain, and then when Dark Phoenix comes, she can be the main villain.
Yeah.
You don't get to play as that particular villain.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Could be a cool, or like at least in a certain, like have them be countered in some way, or have some kind of fun gameplay element that links to the idea that anyway. Right, this is a really big
AI version of an enemy to fight. Like have us fight against
some kind of like boss fight, so to speak. In a way, I think PvE missions could be cool for something like that. But do it better than Overwatch did. Anyway, this
because Overwatch didn't do them at all.
Yeah, well, that's true. But this is perhaps the most interesting thing I think has dropped so far. With her time as the Queen in Black behind her, the defeated Hela is approached by a mysterious, shadowy figure.
So that's a tease for next season. Then.
Yeah. Now, people have pointed out this does have a little bit of a Horn situation going on. I don't think.
Don't say.
I don't think it's Daredevil. Oh, the reason I don't think it's him is because we're going to go on XOX or XOX leak here, another good provider of leaks for Rivals. Season 4 will be in Kunlun.
Okay.
I'm wondering if, and I know this is maybe a long shot, if it's a member of the Hand, or it's Davos, who is Iron Fist's rival. If you guys remember from the Iron Fist show, he's like a bad Iron Fist, basically.
From all of the like really early leaks of potential heroes that they were thinking of adding, am I correct in remembering that Hitmonkey has things to do in Kunlun?
I am unsure, but you could be right.
I don't think that's Hitmonkey, though.
No, that's definitely that's definitely not Hitmonkey.
No, that's absolutely. What? Don't you see the tail?
Hitmonkey would be cool for Kunlun, though, because it kind of gives that kind of vibe, right?
And he could even be a background character like Blade was.
Yeah. The purple eyes are interesting to me as well. What's that about?
It's a trench coat with glasses, like it's almost sunglasses. To me, that almost looks like Blade.
It does, except it can't be. Because
unless that's the like end of season 3, and then that's Blade coming in for 3.5.
That's Queen in Black behind us. That's.
This is after Blade's defeated her.
3. Yeah, because there's no 0.5s anymore. It's just a 1 month.
I don't know. Well, it depends because I don't know what
you could be coming to her with an offer she can't refuse.
Yeah, I just have this feeling. I don't know why. With it being Kunlun, let me just see. I just have a feeling it could be Davos, because if you look at Davos in the comics, he has purple. Can I look it up here 1 second? Davos, Marvel. Look at this.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like, if we're going to Kunlun, I think it's Davos. Like,
but where are the horns? Tell me where the horns.
I think that's just a stylistic choice, isn't it? But yeah, I have just this feeling it's Davos, which is interesting. Because like he's not like a well-known villain, really. Like he was in the show, but he's not really a well-known villain.
However, there is purpley versions of Daredevil.
Yeah, but why would Daredevil be coming up on Hela?
He's a lawyer.
I can help you out in a court of law in Kunlun. Yeah. But
you have made crimes against the mystic, therefore you must stand trial.
So there's like 7 heavens in Kunlun, and like all of them have their own champion, like Iron Fist, but some of them are not altogether good. And so I'm just kind of interested to see if that is Davos.
I don't think it'll be a playable character.
No, definitely not.
A lot of the time, these artworks show like Doom or
yeah. When are you gonna let us play as Doom? I want to play as Doom.
But that kind of gets us up to speed on like what Miller's dropped. Miller typically keeps it. He does give some leaky stuff, but not too leaky. I know that sounds weird, but like
story of season 3 there.
He tried, but he tries to keep it a little bit more like what's in the game, so to speak. Now. XOX leaks give some other stuff. Now, let's look at these stuff first. Jean's portrait, love that one actually. That's actually like face card again. And then also nameplate frames if you do really well in the seasons. So that's cool.
So
I like that.
Yeah, it looks really good, right?
That is not animated.
Yeah, and then this one.
As it is, and that's animated.
And it's nice, but it's platinum diamond. Like, we can get them. We can manage that.
You just got to play more.
You can. Oh, yeah, this is the other Phoenix skin. Ass. Colossal ass.
It's just a recolor, yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I like that one.
I prefer that to the green.
I hate it. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I do. Let me just see if there's anything else down this way. Oh, yep, there we go. We didn't really put a big thing. Evil Dance.
No, it's not evil.
But you know what I like about it, though? And I think this is something that's actually very important for the game. Not just that they meme. I think that's really good that they do that, because I thought Disney would kind of have a bigger hold on that. But also that they're adding stuff from Sony. Exactly. Yeah, they're adding stuff from films that they didn't necessarily have. Well, they don't have the Sony ones, but like that means you could potentially have Fox skins down the line or whatever, right? And so that's kind of that's what I was going to get at.
It may be because I don't know if that dance is trademarked.
Yeah, well, it won't be, will it?
Because it appeared in Spider-Verse.
So I think yes, they're adding stuff from Sony's Spider-Man, but technically they're not, because it's just a dance. You know what I mean?
But I guess
they've got a loophole for it.
But I guess what their willingness is, I'm not talking about necessarily the legal side. I'm talking about the fact that Disney typically likes to keep these things. If they're going to keep it straight laced, they're going to keep it straight laced. So the fact that they're not,
Disney have much hold over the game. I don't think they give a fuck.
Well,
Marvel Games is its own separate division. It is still technically under the Disney Corporation, but it is.
But the thing is, you have to. So let me just go up, because
it's making them money at the end of the day.
There's a quote somewhere that basically Marvel. I haven't got it here, but long story short, they are licensed for these characters specifically. So everything that they do has to basically fall under a license. Now, they have said specifically they will not run out of characters because they've been licensed to make any Marvel character into the game. But that basically means that they have to report to Disney in some way. They will. And I understand Marvel will have the control, but Disney does like to keep a lock on these things typically. They will have given a mandate to Marvel, especially with Marvel Rivals doing so well. So what I'm getting at is the fact that if they're allowed to add stuff from movies that are a little bit more adjacent to theirs, that's good for us. That is good for us. But where was I? So the Jean is also getting emojis, and I actually think these are really cute. I love this one.
Yeah, they're going to be paid for, though, aren't they?
Probably, but I mean, they're not like super. They I mean, the Jeff ones, the Jeff ones, they were pretty.
Like $5.
Yeah, they weren't like killer, so that's okay. And then so Kunlun there is apparently going to be season 4. This guy has been pretty good on his track record, by the way.
The other thing for Kunlun is Shang-Chi.
That's another potential option. Daredevil could also potentially be an option. He is close to Iron Fist as a character. Iron Fist, like Danny Rand, took over the role of Daredevil for a long time in the comics. So like it's not entirely impossible. You know, there's enough scope for a number of characters regards that. If you go for some of the I'm pretty sure that they're as well going to continue the Kunlun sets for season 4 if they do that, because obviously we also already have Kunlun outfits in the game. So I think it could be a really interesting season. But the one thing I think they do need to do is they need to make it distinct to the Spider maps, because I think they could look somewhat similar in terms of structure. If you look at that doesn't look this part.
They need to have more like snowy mountainous vibes to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like a monastery kind of shit would be really cool. But yeah, so that's that. Now, here's a list of potential outfits we could be getting. Now, basically confirming the MCU Fantastic Four skins, which was going to happen, right? You know,
it's inevitable.
Yeah. Then they're saying a lot of them are just like originals, which is going to be cool. Penny's getting an original. There you go in it. But
as long as it's better than what's that before.
I'm not going to put much stock in this though, because like, what does this even mean? Luna Snow original. Like, okay, cool, she's getting an original skin, but it doesn't mean anything, you know. So we'll see what they end up being. This one is interesting to me as well. Marvel Rivals Season 5 will be themed around love and the eternal touch of romance.
You posted Season 5 before Season 4?
No, Season 4 is coming out.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
never mind.
So I can see them doing that if Season 5 came out in February, but it's not.
It's an interesting one.
It's a weird one.
However, they did do the like
can I
Halloween stuff in December.
Can I be conspiracy theory again?
Oh god.
I think they didn't know when the game was going to launch, and the first however many seasons that they've had ready could have been mixed up in any order they wanted.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I genuinely think, because if you think about it, we've had Kunlun seasons skins from all the way back at the beginning of the game. We've had Captain Clintar came out just before Season 3. You had the Punk skin ending up in Season 2 for Squirrel Girl. You know, it seems like a lot of this stuff was ideas that they've had for a long time, and they had all of this stuff sort of somewhat ready to go, and then they've kind of decided, right, that one will go now, that one will go next, and they've adapted slightly around everything else as they went. Because really, most of the story is written. It's not voiced.
It would have made more sense to have had this Season 3 come out before Season 1, because then Blade could have been part of the fight against Dracula.
Oh yeah, you could have, and potentially that was maybe an idea they were looking at, but maybe Blade wasn't working for them at the time, and so they changed it, right? You know,
which again, it is tough to do just melee sword-based characters, and I don't know, vampires are tough anyway in games.
Yeah. But I genuinely believe that they had a plan. I'm not saying they didn't have a plan, but I feel like a lot more of this is intermixed and intermingled. Like, if you think about it, if Rivals had came out a few months earlier, because it came out in December, if it came out a few months earlier, that Halloween season would have hit exactly right. You know? So I don't know, maybe that's just a bit too conspiracy theory, but that's but what I think is interesting is we know about Gambit and Rogue in the files.
There's a lot hidden in the files.
Yeah, but
we've seen all these like voice lines and stuff of people talking about characters.
Yeah, love and the eternal touch.
Yeah,
eternal touch of romance.
Why am I being bad touched?
Rogue's powers. Right?
Rogue, yeah.
I don't know. I just think that could potentially be the characters for Season 5. I mean, obviously it's a while away, but that could potentially be the characters for Season 5.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, you wanted more X-Men.
Yeah, I want Cyclops, man. Why
I really do want Cyclops.
Leader of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Also, trying to make that power balance state.
Somewhat evocative, but Marvel Rivals is getting swimsuits. This issue will also include designs. We knew about that from a while back. That was April. But that is coming out this week. So we will see what kind of skins we might be getting, and certain outfits in here will be at Rivals at some point. That is going to be coming this season, apparently.
See, Nate, that's the real reason you can't have
swimsuits.
Cyclops yet, because otherwise they'd have to give him that swimsuit.
That's not Cyclops, that's Spider-Man.
I mean, if they had Cyclops in the game, they'd have to give him a swimsuit.
If it was Cyclops, there'd be a big red beam coming out here right now.
I thought I saw it.
What did you say, Ajax? Sorry.
That's a visor.
If Cyclops was in the game when the swimsuits came out, he would have to have one.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why he's not here yet, because it's another skin for them to make early.
So someone, and this is an hour ago, so this is hot off the press, guys. This is hot off the press. Kunlun hero. This was posted whilst we've been doing this. Kunlun hero interactions.
Because we've been doing this for 2 hours.
As enchanting as ever. You are this sacred realm's sworn protector, are you not, Linley? I fear a corruption has tainted Kunlun in your absence.
Kunlun is my home turf. You should probably follow my lead.
We can handle ourselves.
Okay, well, there we go.
Okay, but if you get swallowed by an ancient
I will forget this by the end of next season. I'll still be surprised, so I'm fine with this.
How quaint. But Kunlun pales in comparison to Easter. It is the only one that matters. Still, I sense something intriguing here. No, it's something far more sinister. Lurking just beneath this city's surface.
I don't think so.
This is almost as wondrous.
No, surely not.
Our partnership dates back over 1,000,000 years, I insist.
What? You think I'm Mr. Sinister?
Just met, Panther.
The first Black Panther, Mosi, said otherwise when I visited Dejalia.
I guess that means you're welcome here in Kunlun, old friend.
Interesting. He said sinister. I know he kept saying it. But, could we have sinister at some point?
At some point, yes, not now.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's.
But I agree that it's a big throw out there. But did we expect Ultron to show up in the Hellfire Gala season?
Didn't he say? Isn't there a mythical dragon under Kunlun?
There is. So the dragon could have been. It could have been. Yeah, it was just the emphasis, but it would be cool either way. But yeah,
It'd also be Baron Modo.
Yeah, it could be Mordo. Mordo could be involved. I think Mordo would be a really cool character for the game. Actually, as some kind of counter to Strange.
I agree.
But yeah, I think.
I googled about characters that are have relation to Kunlun. Yeah, and I put it in your Discord. There's two that have little horns on their head.
Oh, do they?
With a bit of purple.
Interesting.
Caliban.
No.
A mutant as well. Interesting.
Ooh.
And the Mandarin. You could be right with the Mandarin. It could be the Mandarin. That would make a lot of sense. And if it was the Mandarin, then Shang-Chi would make a lot of sense as well.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I find it unlikely that they're going to do two heroes who share something similar like that.
Yeah,
they won't do.
Yeah,
they have Mandarin
did with
the villain of the season.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think all three potential options. They all have something that kind of links to. I mean, Caliban, obviously, the mutants have been kind of going strong, so that's interesting.
And he has links to Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And either way, ladies and gentlemen, we will discuss these as they actually get officially released as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been 2 hours. That is all I booked for this.
That is fine. That's no worries.
I will have to get going.
That's fine. That's fine. We were about to close out anyway, so no worries. Tater's just done my outro. Thanks, Tater. I'll see you guys. And that's Natalie Portman. I don't know why that's showing up, but there you go.
I know.
There you go. I don't follow anyone on this account. It's just my For What It's Nerd account. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching as always. Let me know your thoughts on season 2, and thank you guys for joining as well. I'll see you guys later.
You mean season 3?
Season 3. Yeah, I meant season 3. See, that's because Tater did my outro for me. Right, go. See you guys later.
All right,
bye, guys.